Good morning, everybody! Happy Friday, and welcome to this episode of the Daily Hotpot. I am your co-host, Drift, aka Robbie.
And I am Khan. Good morning, everyone.
Morning. And Khan, we got a very special episode today for this big TGIF, thank God it's Friday episode.
Okay, I'm excited. Why don't you tell everyone what the topic's going to be?
Alrighty, guys. Today we are talking about, we're getting a little nostalgic here, and that is, we're going to be talking about our top 3 favorite or most influential games that we played growing up. And by games, I mean video games.
Oh, okay. I'm excited.
I am excited too. Khan, as per usual, would you like to start us off, brother?
Sure. All right, so thinking about it, why don't we do 1 and 1 just to switch it up a bit?
Yeah, let's do a little ping pong.
Yeah, I'll start off with an elementary school / middle school game for me.
Okay.
And that is Pokemon Blue and Red.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
So this was also like the time where the show came out. And for me, it was such a good game for every day after school, post school, and lunch. So what we did was during lunch, I don't know if you guys know. So Pokemon Blue and Red is you catch the original 101 Pokemon. But one of the major features of the Game Boy Advance was that you can link up with another Game Boy Advance to trade, and you can also battle. So it's like OG PvP IRL battles. So during lunch, we would do that all the time. We would just link up our Game Boys. We would battle each other. We would trade Pokemon. Who has like the best, cheat Pokemon? We were just a bunch of cheaters, right? Don't worry about that. So who has like the level 151 Mewtwo? Who has the level 151 Ditto? So we would just do that constantly every day. And even after school, I remember just like riding around my bike in the neighborhood and randomly just meeting up with people. I'm like, hey, how's your game going? And we would like talk about, oh, we caught this and that. We would go through our teams. Such a good time. And also like the show too was running at the same time. And for me, on a like unrelated but side note, I also played the card games.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so like Pokemon during late elementary school and early middle school, good old time. Definitely the card games. I remember spending way too much money that I didn't have just collecting the booster packs.
Can you I'm actually curious because I never got into the card game as much, but could you tell me what time? Because I've heard some pretty, should I say horror stories of the worst trades for either cards or in the game for Pokemon that you've made.
Well, looking back, this was like a pretty good trade for me. I remember trading. So I opened up one of the newer packs, and I got a Lugia.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was like a pretty good like first ever pack of that series. I opened it, I got a Lugia, and I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. I didn't know what the fuck that Pokemon was. I'm an OG Pokemon guy, so I only know like the first gen, the first 151.
Right. That's Gen 2 legendary, right?
Yeah, so I was like, oh, Lugia, cool. But my friend who was still like into Pokemon at the time, he was like, oh man, I want that so bad. So I traded I got a first edition Venusaur for that. So for me, that was a good trade for me.
That's like not bad in my head,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So to this day, I still have that. He's probably my most valuable card, the first edition Venusaur.
Do you still have like your old card sets, or at least like the good ones?
Yeah, it's in like a binder, all the I guess holograms, or that's what they're called, in a little book. I remember a couple years ago, I did in VC with a few people. I was going through my Pokemon collection, and I searched eBay just for fun, the recently sold stuff. So I put together an Excel sheet, and it turns out Pokemon collection at the peak of the Pokemon craze a couple years ago during COVID, I think it was like $4,000.
Oh my God.
Right? Pretty good. I mean, it's probably worth nowhere near that now.
Oh yeah.
Back during the peak? Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I never got into Pokemon card game, but yeah, Pokemon. It's funny because
it's kind of fun because like it's a deck. I think you only had 60 cards, so you had to like. There's definitely some strategies involved, and it's like TFT. If you guys play TFT, where you have to combine the lower grade cards in order to evolve. So that's how you evolve your Pokemon. So you can't just be like, yo, I'm gonna play a Charizard. you gotta get to Charizard, and in order to use his abilities, you have to have like energy cards. In order, you have to like pull four, for example, four fire energy card in order for him to use his move. Pretty fun little like strategic card game to play. And I think I got like, I don't know if you guys remember or you guys know Magic of the Coast. They used to be a pretty big game store or like game chain store.
Huh.
And the one locally in my local mall, every weekend, you're able to battle the employees that work there in order to collect actual gym badges.
Wait, really?
So, yeah, it's I think as a kid, I got like 3 or 4 badges.
Oh, that's
Pretty
so
fun.
cool.
Yeah.
Wait, I actually love that they did like a little community thing for the kids to like get gym badges if you battle
Yeah.
them. That's so sweet. That's so cool.
Yeah. So I collected the first 4. What was it? Rock, water, leaf, something else. Yeah.
Rock, water. What's the third one? I don't remember. It's been ages. Holy crap. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember.
It must be fun like being an employee back then at that store. You basically get to just play games every weekend.
True. Sadly, I mean, stores like that are
Oh, no.
withering away now. It sucks.
Imagine GameStop trying that.
Oh, we don't talk about GameStop, bro.
No way.
Hell no. Yeah, dude. Wow. We got Pokemon Red, Blue, quintessential. I would say that was gonna make my list, but I actually didn't put it on there because I shit you not, I had a feeling it would be on your list.
True. You are correct.
Yeah. So I didn't put it on as third. It was actually going to be my number 3 spot. But I just want to say it's an honorary number 3, and I loved Pokemon First Gen so much. I'm sure a lot of kids did this, but as being an artsy kid, when I grew up, I shit you not, I made my own complete 150 Pokemon of my own design. And I used to and what I used to do is I'd have my whole class in elementary school. I used to like, with at least the kids that like Pokemon, I'd have them go through it like a Pokédex, and they'd pick one that they wanted, and I'd redraw it so they have a drawing of it on their own. I used to sell those for $1 or $2. I used to hustle.
Yo, that's a great side hustle.
Dude, it was
I
so
like
fun.
that quite a lot.
Oh, I wish I hate that I didn't have them anymore because I used to just like design the Pokemon. It'd be so much fun, and I wish I kept it, but it's lost to time. It's in garbage or
no, that's too bad.
Become someone's Amazon box now. I have no idea what happened to it. But yeah. Anyways, awesome number 3. My number 3 is not so kid friendly.
Oh no.
It's not horrible, don't get me wrong. It's not horrible.
Wait, but this is childhood games. What are you doing playing a non-child friendly game, huh?
Look,
what's going on there?
Let's just say I grew up with an older brother and shared a room with him, and
true.
My parents wouldn't get me the rated M games, but my brother was free reign to get rated M and T games. But my number 3 would have to be Call of Duty 1 for the PC. And
okay,
I used to play this when I was, it must have been, believe it or not, I must have been in kindergarten to 2nd grade. I used to play Call of Duty 1 on PC. And specifically, you'd think, okay, what, you played the campaign or something or whatever? It's like, no, dude, I didn't play the campaign. My brother, back in the old days on our old shitty PC with our terrible dial-up internet, would play multiplayer Call of Duty specifically on a server that was search and destroy only on Harbor. You guys know that OG map. And bolt action rifles only. So no MP40s, no Tommy guns with automatic. It was bolt action. You land your shot, like for the skill players only, and that used to be a hot server. And I even hear like the sounds in my head now, like the old-fashioned Call of Duty clickety clacks of the typewriter when you hovered your mouse over different options, or the sound of the Car 98. That was a quintessential. My brother used to scam me, to play that game. Because I used to, being an annoying little brother, I used to be like, oh, please let me play the game, please. And, being an older brother, he'd be like, nah, fuck off. So to shut me up or to pay the price to play the game, he'd be like, okay, you want to play? You want to play like a match, which if you guys don't know, a search and destroy match, probably like 10, 15 minutes to fucking Call of Duty. He'd be like, okay, pay me $2 to play a match. And my desperate ass, not being a kid and not understanding money, would
your Pokemon money,
my Pokemon money, I would give him $1 or $2 every time to play one match. Not even like an hour session, bro. I need a fucking lawyer, man. I need an agent. I need someone.
You got side hustled by your own brother.
And guess what? That was money. Dude, yeah, my Pokemon money was all gone. So I would pay him, but I just remember having a blast playing those old servers. Those servers are obviously long gone, but that was my first experience playing Call of Duty, was the old Call of Duty on multiplayer. I don't think I even completed or touched the campaign until my adult years when I went back and played the OG Call of Duty and played through the campaign. So that's number 3. That was literally,
Yeah.
if I look back, that was my introduction to first person shooters. Was the original Call of Duty.
That's crazy. I mean, Call of Duty also has a pretty big role in my young adult life where that same group that I mentioned before from yesterday's podcast, yeah, we used to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 like
Oh,
every night.
oh,
We would get into a group of 5, sometimes 8, and just the entire lobby. We would play that for hours. And
jeez.
then we moved on to zombies,
Oh,
just have a good old time. But before that, as far as shooter games, in middle school, we used to play Counter Strike.
oh.
Yeah,
Is this your
that's
number
like
2?
real. It's not my number 2,
Okay,
but
okay,
just
okay,
to
okay,
commenting on what you said. Yeah, Counter Strike, same thing. It's like you play in a server, but the only thing different and possibly for me super cool, there used to be PC cafes
Oh yeah.
by me. So we would get together in a group and just go play together, LAN style, Counter Strike and Halo.
Wow. Yeah. I did
Hmm.
not have the luxury. I will call it a luxury of just experiencing internet cafes because in my area, in the suburbs, there was no internet cafes. It just wasn't a
Yeah, yeah.
thing, especially in my hometown where it's predominantly kind of like white retired folks, like older white
Hmm.
families. So they, no cafe is going to fucking open up there and expect some big business. So my first experience for the internet cafes was when I was a teenager, and that shit was like, oh, I fucking loved it.
Yeah, so that was also like one of the PC cafe was also a boba shop.
Oh, dude, what the fuck? I've been
It
stuck there.
yeah, it was called Fusion Tea, where all the cool kids went to get their boba, which is like a new thing back then,
Right,
and they
right.
get to play PC games.
I would have been stuck there, bro. They would have took my fucking
Yeah.
401k. It'd been over.
Uh,
Oh, yeah. Wow. Awesome. 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 Anyways, Con, what is your number 2 childhood game?
All right. Yeah, my number 2, I wouldn't say like it's like a top 3, but I do have a pretty fond memory of it, and it kind of like molded the kind of types of games that I liked playing, or I like playing
Mm.
even now. Dynasty Warriors.
Oh.
I don't know. So like I think one of my friends, I think his name was Ron. I didn't have the game, the first game. I think he had Dynasty Warriors 2, and he would bring it over whenever we played at my house or we went over to his house.
Mm.
And oh my God, within our group of friends, that series of game, like 2, 3, and 4, we just played that all the time. And the fact that it got me into like medieval stuff, got me
Oh,
into
yeah.
history. That's also like how I learned about Romance of the Three Kingdoms,
Ooh.
which was like, I love that story. I even attempted to read it. And if you guys know me, I don't read shit. So I didn't really read it, but I attempted to read it, which is like a pretty good step.
That's huge for you. Huge.
Yeah. But yeah, that game definitely molded a lot of like the kind of games that I like playing now, which goes back to when we talked about Bannerlord Mountain Blade the other
Mhm.
day. I was like, yeah, definitely a Dynasty Warrior type game.
I was not as deep into the Dynasty Warriors as definitely you were, but I remember
Mm,
playing it like quite a few times during holiday parties. At
uh-huh.
my cousin's house, he had it on the PS2, and I'm forgetting which one. It was either 2 or 3. And oh my god! Speaking of that past pod where you said you love mowing down people, look, this game, something about swinging that
Yeah.
what is it, sword lance thing? I don't even know what the official name is for it in Chinese, but swinging that and just watching like 50 bodies fly up in the air like you're
Just
Sauron from the
fly up.
opening scene in Lord of the Rings, just like
It,
just
it was just so funny because you're like juggling them. You're not. They're not even dying. You're just juggling them in the air. There was this one character, Guan Yu, where he had like a giant glaive, and he would just spin in circle. He was literally the original Garen, or even like the original barbarian from Diablo, where
oh
his
whoa.
special ultimate, yeah, where his ultimate was. Oh, spoiler alert, Diablo. But he was just spinning. He just spins in circles. I don't
Oh
know, great stuff.
yeah, wow, that man, Dynasty Warriors. I mean, I know they don't make them anymore. At least I don't believe they don't make them anymore.
I think it went up to like 9 or something.
Okay, yeah,
But
I think it ended up dying in the late 2000s. Correct me if I'm
oh,
wrong.
for sure, for sure.
Might have had a random revival in the early 2010s, but yeah, that's a great set of games. Great games. Which I mean, Con, if you remember that game we talked about, not on the pod, but a while ago, that medieval game where you're like a futuristic person from the future. Look, they're kind of
Mhm.
bringing it back, bro. It's not
I
officially Dynasty
know.
Warriors, but oh my god.
Something to look forward to.
Something to look forward to. Yeah, what a great one. My number two, in the same vein as COD, in that it's a first-person shooter, but it hit me for a completely different reason, and this is Halo. Specifically, I am in a unique position.
Yo,
Oh yeah.
Halo was also potentially going to be one of mine. But yeah, go on, go on.
Yeah, Halo, but this I think I'm in a unique position where I was in a weird age in elementary school where somehow, some way, when we had our original Xbox, I played Halo 2 before Halo 1. I don't know how many of you guys
Uh,
experienced that, but yeah, I played Halo 2 before Halo 1. So obviously there's a 2 in the title, but I just thought this was a fucking brand new game starting off from scratch as a kid. And I was like, I cannot fully describe to you the sense of like wonder and complete badassery and amazing. Like, this is the first FPS that like I think I consciously remembered. Actually, fuck FPS. The first game I consciously remembered the story of, which is crazy to me. Because,
mhm.
for any of you guys that don't know what Halo is, it's a sci-fi first-person shooter game, which you wouldn't think what an amazing story would come out of. But even as a kid, I just loved the story of Halo 2. I'm not going to get into it, but it was just fantastic. And that's what made me become a humongous Arbiter fan. If you don't know who Arbiter is, it is an alien
He's such a
character.
cool guy, man.
He's fucking cool.
I
He's
agree.
voiced by
Yeah.
Keith fucking David, bro. If you like,
Yeah.
he's voiced by Spawn, okay? And like if you don't know who Keith David is, what a fantastic goated voice actor and actor, by the way. But that voice that made me like, I low key, like, I know it's blasphemous to say for you fucking UNSC fanboys out there, but I low key was a fucking Covenant supporter. Like that, like RB was so cool. I was a Covenant supporter. And for you people that don't know, in Halo, Covenant is like a conglomerate of multiple alien races who believe in the ancient.
They're the bad guys,
They're
bro.
the bad guys. They're the bad guys. I support the bad guys. But they were just cool because they're cool alien. Like the elites were cool alien samurais with plasma swords.
True.
Called an energy sword, but it's like a plasma blade. It's so sick. But Halo 2, I played so much, bro. Halo 2, I played split screen co-op, split screen multiplayer, yelling at each other to stop screen watching. Oh my god. That game so much defined my childhood, and I ended up playing Halo 1 only because my friend way back in elementary school, Joseph/Joe, big old guy, he was a humongous dude. Like he was my age or like a year older, but this dude was like 2 times my height. I don't know if it's because I was Asian or he was fucking Andre the Giant's child, but huge guy. But he had Halo 1 at his house, but I had Halo 2. So we'd kind of go over to each other's houses and like play
Just okay.
Halo 2 and then Halo 1. So that was so sweet. So awesome. Halo 2, for some, like, because I played it first, found my love for Halo. It blew my mind. And to this day, even though I love COD, I love Battlefield, all these other shooters, Halo is still forever my goated favorite shooter series of all time, hands down.
Nice. I also have like pretty fond memories of Halo. Like you mentioned before, I feel like a lot of like the nostalgic and also good moments from Halo is the split screen co-op.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember like being able to like physically connect Xboxes together? I remember one time I was invited over to my friend's house where there was like 16 of us, 16 sweaty boys like running around, and there was like 4 Xboxes connected to 4 TVs, and everyone was just playing split screen. Such a good time.
I can smell the room. That's it,
Yeah.
right? I can like recall the smell of 4 hot
The
Xboxes.
soda and sweat.
The soda, sweat, and chips, bro. And like the 4 different TVs, or if you were bougie, the projector that you had up to play fucking. Oh man, that's. Just as a quick aside, did you have a favorite map from Halo 2 multiplayer? Do you remember which one?
The standard one where it was like a big open field where it's like the to capture the flag one.
Is it Blood Gulch? Like the 2 bases
Yeah,
in the
but
canyon?
yeah. That's like the main one. Also because I remember it from the YouTube short series
Red
that was
vs. Blue?
popular at the time. Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Red vs. Blue. Also, rip in peace.
For
Rest in
real.
peace, Rooster Teeth.
So it was so funny for its time, actually.
So funny. God, I gotta go back and watch that just to like get a little nostalgia
Right?
boost. Yeah, my favorite map on Halo 2, I'm pretty sure was Ascension. That's the one where it's like you're on a sandy
Yeah.
column cliff and there's that spinning fucking 3 columns in the center and this. Yeah, I loved Ascension. That was one of my favorite maps. Wow.
Speaking of Halo, I remember last year we kind of played the new one.
Halo Infinite multiplayer.
Yeah.
That was a fun
It
run.
was fun for a while, yeah.
Yeah, but like a classic Halo.
Mhm.
Then it got sweaty.
Yeah. At that point, I was like, you know what? Shooters aren't my thing anymore.
Too old for shooters. The wrists ain't working.
For real.
The thumbs
For
aren't
real.
what they used to be. Anyways, Con,
All right. Yeah.
number one.
So before the final one, we have a couple of honoraries. So we
Okay.
have Kingdom Hearts 2 for me.
Ooh, nice, nice, nice.
Yeah, my first Japanese, I guess, RPG. Also, that song stuck with me, and that's also how I got into K-pop, kind of.
Ooh, okay,
But
I can
we'll
see.
talk. We'll leave that for a different podcast.
Uh huh.
Yeah. Diablo 2,
Oh,
obviously.
yeah.
Yeah. But I think, and this would be the third era of video game for me, which is like the high school era, and is Age of Empires 2.
Ooh, that's the number one.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, it's
wow.
not number one. All three of them are in like the same tier for me,
Okay, okay,
but
okay.
this would be like the high school phase,
Gotcha,
where
gotcha.
the other ones were like the elementary school, middle school phase. And it's also like how I think in high school I was like really into medieval stuff. So the fact that there was like an RTS where you can create castles, you can manage towns, you
Mm.
can control knights, and you were able to like defeat your friends who were too busy building walls. You can just open up your trebuchets and just fire rockets at them. Such a good time. So once again, it was like one of those things where I think there's like a trend where it's like linking together. So I had good moments of landing, people playing on like their respective computers, and we would just all get together. I think 4 people playing on the same map,
Mm.
and then we would just spend like 2 hours, different game modes where we'll do like a rush one, or if we were like in the mood to just chill, we'll make a gentleman's agreement to like, all right, let's just spend 30 minutes building. We'll just spend 30 minutes just building up our resources, building up crazy cities, and then we'll finally see if we would be able to destroy each other's cities.
Oh, yeah. That's a really good one. I have a similar one in my honorable, but
Okay.
Age of Empires Goated series. We played the beta for Age of Empires. What is it? What's the new one?
4.
4, right? It was 2 years ago now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Not
cool.
bad. Not bad.
It's cool. Not bad. Yeah. Definitely didn't want to make me buy a $60 Age of Empires, but it was cool.
Nope.
Oh, yeah. Well, great honorable mentions, Con, and also your number one, though they're all tied. For me, I have a couple honorable mentions. One, I will say, I was gonna say StarCraft, but I
Ah.
would say my brother was more into StarCraft than me, and that's probably more reserved for him. Mine is an adjacent RTS, not that it came out at the exact same time, but my favorite RTS of all time, still to this day, and what ignited my love for Warhammer 40k is Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War, specifically Dawn of War Dark Crusade. That was
Mm.
the second expansion in the Dawn of War series. And Dawn of War is an RTS, like Age of Empires, StarCraft, but it's set in the Warhammer 40k universe. And oh my god, I lost so much time in this game. It ignited my love for Warhammer 40k. I was never interested before, but it came with everything like an army painter, like almost like you can paint the figurines in the game. It's so awesome. Love that game. Don't want to dwell too much, but I love that game. My other one, I would say, oh, it was a tie. Yeah, okay. The other one I will say is SOCOM. And
Mm-hmm.
if you guys don't know what SOCOM is, it was a third person shooter. I grew up with a lot of shooters, guys. I was that kid. SOCOM was a third person tactical shooter based around you being a Navy SEAL and putting a squad together and commanding that squad. Super awesome. It was my entrance into the tactical shooter genre, and I, even still to this day, with newer shooters coming out, haven't played anything that's given me that same sort of feeling still. So, love SOCOM for the PS2. Specifically, SOCOM 2 and 3 is what I played. But my number one of the all-time childhood influencing game, and I played this in middle school, which I mentioned previously in a previous pod this week, it is Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Also legit, like probably my favorite game.
Oh, dude. Like, again, I grew up with shooters, RTSs, but RPGs were always something I was a little light on. I didn't really play too many RPGs, and if they were from
Mm-hmm.
my brother, he loved Final Fantasy, he loved Kingdom Hearts. Those aren't really RPGs, but they're like JRPGs. Like, they're not Western RPGs, should I say. They're JRPGs, but definitely not the character building or exploration aspect that Bethesda makes their games. But circa 2011 comes around Christmas time, and all the hubbub is about Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. So, me
Mm-hmm.
being a fucking trend follower goes like, well, I hear my friends talk about Skyrim. I want to ask for it for Christmas. Lo and behold, Christmas comes around. I get Skyrim and Left 4 Dead 2. No, not Left 4
Oh
Dead.
my god.
No, no, not Left 4 Dead 2. I
Yeah.
got Dishonored 1. Sorry, Dishonored 1. Left 4 Dead
Hmm.
2 I
Hmm.
got back when it came out in 2009. But yeah, Elder Scrolls and Dishonored 1. Dishonored's an amazing series too, but once, oh my god. Elder Scrolls was my first proper RPG, and I know it gets a lot of shit in the series from you hardcore Elder Scrolls fans. It's not like Morrowind. It's dumbed down compared to Morrowind and Oblivion. Look, man, respectfully, I'm a kid, and I think it was a great launching pad for RPGs and allowed me to get into deeper ones, you know, like Pillars of Eternity, Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age, even though I didn't really play the Dragon Age series. I'm just throwing out, you know, examples of
it got
RPGs.
it got so many people into RPGs.
Oh yeah,
So many people.
I was a wonderful victim of the game. And I, to this date, probably undocumented, of course, but I can easily say I have like 500-ish hours on Steam through mods and just playing the game alone. That's in my adult years. I swear
Hmm.
to you, I played Skyrim so much and made so many characters and so many high level characters all the way through, playing all different classes and all that bullshit. I easily probably have 2,000 plus hours on Skyrim lifetime. And
Damn.
not a
Okay, okay.
second wasted. This game opened my eyes to building a character and class-based things where you can choose your own adventure and make decisions. Albeit it's not a very complicated RPG, but all these, you know, nuances of the genre were new to me at the time. So having this freedom in a game was so eye-opening and jaw-dropping to me as a kid that it forever changed my idea of what a game could be. And to this day, it is my most influential game I've ever played as a kid, growing up as a gamer. And I can't thank Bethesda enough for ruining my childhood.
ruining, quote unquote.
Lovingly ruining my childhood. So yeah, that is my number one, Skyrim. It can't be beat. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Just
you know, Skyrim would also be my number one, but it's not a childhood game for me. I was already in college, so oh well.
oh,
Definitely for me, same thing. But like maybe like the reverse. It wasn't so much about making my own character, but it was the fact that it was so at the time so immersive.
mm,
The ability to just like walk around nature, the various different encounters, random encounters, and the fact that like all the NPCs were living their own life in their
mm-hmm.
little villages. I love the fact that like some NPCs from like what
Riverwood.
was it? Riverwood would go to a different town just walking there, and you would have to like track them down, or you'll see them on the road just walking. Or if you'll like go around seeing like a couple, that Romeo and Juliet character, I forget their names, but they were like in from two different families. They would like escape outside to the city to have like a little date, and you'll run across them while they're having a little date, and you can listen to them interact. I don't
Ah,
know. For me, it was so immersive.
yeah, I know, I agree. If there's any word to just describe it, it was just so immersive. That was a game that would suck your life away and suck your hours away because you'd just be so immersed in living in Skyrim and being a resident in there, and you'd look
Hmm.
up and go like, "Holy shit, bro! I lost 6 hours of my life trying to like track down this courier or like walking past this mountain and finding 4 dungeons just because I said, ooh, what's that?"
Right?
Oh,
So crazy. And that's like before mods too.
oh yeah,
Like,
before mods.
and then mods come along. And for me, I just picked the immersive mods where it's like you're adding more NPCs, you're adding more dialogue.
Hmm.
There's also one where you can create your own village. you, I don't know. So good.
Oh, yeah. Skyrim forever goated. Defining part of my childhood. Defining part, forget just saying adulthood. Defining part of our lives gone. Just as a gamer.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh.
Like those games that we just mentioned, you could tell like what kind of games we like nowadays. It definitely shaped the kind of games we like. Like for me, come on, like Dynasty Warriors and Skyrim. Of course, I'll like Dragon's Dogma 2. Of course, I would like Bannerlord, Mountain Blade games. Obviously,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for me, COD, Halo, dude, I played all the new, like, not all the new CODs, but like new CODs, or I played Battlefield, all these shooters for the rest of my life. Skyrim, come on, Bethesda games, or just Dragon's Dogma, or even though it kicks my ass, the Dark Souls games, just having that combat focused RPG aspects. Oh,
mm.
yeah, wow.
Have you played Starfield?
That's all for today, folks.
I was gonna say, like, yo, I feel like we should review Starfield because of our love for Skyrim
You know
in a
what?
different podcast.
That'll be a different podcast episode in the future. I did play it, but I was only able to get like 13 hours of it
Okay, okay, okay.
because it didn't run well. Maybe it runs better now,
Hmm.
but yeah, it was running like poo poo dog dog. But we'll see. Maybe we revisit in the future. But yeah, anyways, that is it for the pod, guys, for today, because we are running at a whole 35 minutes.
Yeah, I knew it. As soon as this topic came, I was like, there's no way this is going to be a short one.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. It's us and video game nostalgia, childhood stuff. It was gonna go long anyways. I'm happy we still talked about it. It was fun.
It was very fun.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Well, that is it for the pod, guys. Happy. Wishing you a happy rest of your Friday. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the second week of the podcast, but the first official week of being the Daily Hotpot. Guys, it's been so fantastic. Again, wishing you a great rest of your Friday and a great weekend. I'm sorry you have to wait till next Tuesday to see us, but don't worry, we miss you guys just as much. Khan, anything to close for the rest of the people?
No, I hope you guys have a great weekend.
All right. And as always, guys, take it easy.
Bye.